I ain't gonna be blind to. And welcome back, everybody, to the Ball Guy and the Fat Boy podcast. I'm the Ball Guy with my buddy, the Fat Boy.
Go Mavericks!
No, you can't do that today. You cannot do that today, sir.
Oh yeah, I can do it.
Okay, so we'll just let everybody know this is our first podcast after me getting a text message at about 11 o'clock or so last night from my buddy over there.
At 33. I look.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, did you? I don't know if you texted or called, but either way, it's like if you heard, and I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm in bed." And I was anyway. He's like, "You gotta look." So I pulled it up, and we still thought it was a joke. The headline came out and said, "Luka Doncic has been traded to the Lakers from the Mavericks," and there is no way. If there was three untouchable players in the NBA, it'd be Giannis, Joker, and Luka. And not only did he get moved, the Mavericks called the Lakers just to see if they'd take him. Well, where are you at on this? I'm still deep off in the ditch. I'm very upset. You've had it longer to think about it. You said you've come to some realization. So why don't you tell us what the Maverick fans should be feeling right now?
Well, I've gone through the roller coaster of feelings. I started off, and I'm going to use a wordy dirt here. I started off pissed off. Yeah, my initial reaction was I was mad because for us Maverick fans, I had Luka Doncic in the same category as I had Dirk Nowitzki.
I think we all wanted to put him there. I mean, I really think that's where, because we just come off of Dirk. He got there right as Dirk was leaving, and that was kind of our heir apparent.
Yes, it was a transition from Dirk to Luka. And then when I found out last night, like I said, 11:33, that the Mavericks made this move, it made me mad. That's why I called you at 11:33.
Because it had to be something pretty important for you to be calling me that late on a Saturday night.
I mean, I've never done that. I mean, I don't do that unless it's an emergency. And that seemed like an emergency to me, a sports emergency.
I just don't know. I mean, I don't know how you're dealing with it.
And when I read it, I couldn't believe my lying eyes. I said, this is the dumbest thing I've ever read in my life. And I've read some dumb things. But then I got
okay,
but I'm getting there. But then I got to watching. I'm gonna give some credit here, even though everybody don't like him. Screaming A. Smith, Brian Windhorst, Shams Charania.
Is the one that broke it, by the way. He's the one that everybody thought his account got hacked whenever he first sent out the tweet.
He had to actually be called and verified that he wasn't hacked because of how out of left field this came. Okay, and then the other one was Perkins, Big Perk.
Okay,
I listened to all those comments, and then I've also now heard from the front office, not the ownership, but the leadership, the front office of the Mavericks. I started off angry, then I went to sad, and now I'm more at a apathetic place in my fandom. Basically, the proof is going to be in the pudding. It's going to be. I mean, the Jason Kidd and Nico. Was it Nico Harris? Is that the name?
Yeah. Harris,
they came to you and they said that they did this for their future as far as the Mavericks go. And you're not going to love this, but it makes sense to me if you think about it this way. Their future for the Mavericks is the next 5 years.
Okay, that's fine. Their future is the next 5 years. How does
Okay,
trading away a top 3 player in the NBA help you over the next
okay.
5 years?
But if you consider, see that depends on if you consider where everybody else besides you, you don't have a big, you don't have a big, let me see, history or
What are you looking for? Hold on. What do you mean?
you don't have a big evaluation on the player, on the star player we got for Luka. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Correct.
I think everybody has a huge evaluation on Anthony Davis.
Okay. Well. If you consider Luka to be top 5, what do you consider Anthony Davis to be currently? Assuming, assuming health. If he's healthy, what do you have him ranked? If
Top
Luka's
20,
5, huh?
top 20, maybe top 15.
Okay. Okay. Let's do a different. Now let's do a different. Let's do a different scenario on that. Rank Luka as his offensive prowess goes. What's he ranked in your opinion? What's he ranked as far as his offense goes?
Probably number 1.
Number 1. Okay. Now rank Luka as defense.
Not number 1. Definitely not number 1.
Be a number. How far down do you got to go before you get to a number that you're satisfied with that Luka is as far as defensively goes?
How many players are there in the NBA?
A
Bottom
bunch.
half of defenders. He's going to be in the bottom half of
Okay,
starting defenders.
now the same question applies to Anthony Davis. Offense as a not as a center, but as a power forward, as a going to be moved to power forward offense. What do you got him at?
Offense,
For
he's as far as power forward or offense in general.
well, he's going to be moving positions. They've already said that they're going to transition him back to power forward, where his natural spot is.
30 to 40.
See, I've got him higher than that, but okay.
He may be a little higher than that. We hadn't seen him actually get to play that in so long, and he's been
Yeah.
out there with LeBron. So when he was with New Orleans, I mean, he was probably top 15.
Okay. Let's put him with New Orleans at 15. Let's just for this. Now the same question goes: where do you have him ranked as a defensive player?
You're probably looking at he's top 20, probably.
Not according to all the people I'm listening to. He's top 3. At power forward, he's a top 3 defender.
Well, we're not talking about power forward. We're talking about league wise. We're not position. We're not doing that because
Okay.
Luka is top 3 player overall. Offense and defense. His offense is so much better than his defense. It doesn't matter. You know how I know it doesn't matter? Because he just went to the finals last year.
That's not what Nico and Kid are selling. Nico and Kid
I know they're spinning the crap out of it, and I don't appreciate it, but that's fine. Buy the crap that they're selling. It ain't right.
They're selling that Anthony Davis is a top 3 defender in the league, and Luka is, like you said, toward the bottom, and
Here's the problem.
according to Nico and according to Kid, defense wins championship in the NBA. And they believe, and according to them, they believe that.
Yeah. In hindsight, whatever sells the narrative to get where you are. What Nico has actually done, in my opinion, is he sat here and he's put the most fragile 2 stars in the NBA that are awesome. I mean, we're talking about for the world whenever they're good. So you're talking about Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis. When those guys are healthy, you know what? It's been the biggest miracle I can imagine that Kyrie has stayed healthy as long as he has to make runs with the Mavs. We're talking about multiple knee problems. We're talking about all these different issues, not to mention his off the court kind of meandering mentally, right? Everything he gets into, flat earther, all this. So it's been a miracle he stayed together this long. So now what do we have to do? So now you're not only concentrating on that as a Mavs fan, you need the stars to align. And Anthony Davis, who's getting older, he's exiting his prime where Luka was about to get there. We all take that for granted about Luka. Luka's 25 years old. The prime in the NBA, 26 to 31. He took a star, top 3 in the league, that was about to enter his prime. We don't think about this either. GA, we would say, is probably number 4 in the league. Thinks he's about to win an MVP and all that. You know what? Is a year older than Luka. Think about that. We took a guy that we know is going to be the next greatest thing. Traded him for a hope and a prayer on health because if Kyrie's down and if Anthony Davis is down, do you know where this Mavericks team is?
Down.
Playoffs. Done.
Right.
Too fragile. That is the whole knock on him. That's been the problem. And him being older is not helping that. The only thing I can possibly see on what it looks like to me is Nico brought in Kyrie and Anthony are friends. And I think Nico had a lot closer relationship to Kyrie. And they were scared that Luka, he comes in drinking beer and he isn't in the best shape. He still has played probably just as many games over the last couple of years as anybody in the NBA and been just as, if not more productive for the team. It's all spin. It's all spin. That's
based on I like you don't subscribe to the spin. I'm subscribing to the spin because here's my other choice. Either I get on or I get off, and I'm not getting off.
What do you mean you get on and get off? You could be a fan and be pissed off at how they handled this.
But I'm not. But now that I've listened to all parties involved, I'm not mad.
I think ownership signed off on it. I think ownership. Everybody's trying to say that they want to take the team to Vegas. Pretty much where they're at is that there's 3 teams in Texas. They want to take the Mavericks to Vegas because that's where they're from. I mean, basically, I think what they're doing is, they're talking about winning now, but they're going to make the Mavericks irrelevant, and they can sure move them. As long as you had a top 3 player in the NBA, a future MVP player, you weren't going to be able to do that. Talking about Anthony Davis for MVP. Nobody's talking about Kyrie for MVP. You know why? Because they're not at the same level Luka is. And not only do we decide to trade our MVP person carrying your whole organization, you know what we do? Instead of saying, hey, what's the best deal we can get for him and shop him all around the league to where you might be able to rebuild, we go, no, the only person we're going to talk to is somebody with an aging, injury-prone, defensive present forward that we're going to bring in here. And all it looks like is you got taken advantage of by your buddy Pelinka out there in LA. It stinks for the Mavericks, man. It stinks for the Dallas fan. And we may be okay for this year. We may be better next year with Lively back. But mark my words, Davis and Kyrie Irving will not play 5% of the games together over the next 4 years.
Well, I disagree with you. I think this was a it was a move. Don't get me wrong. It was a move that hurt. And I'm, like I said, going from Dirt to Luka, I'm a huge Luka fan, and I wanted to stay right in that same wheelhouse. But we have a general manager, and we have a coach, and we have an owner that is not the way they wanted to go. And
because they didn't want to spend the money. They did not. It's coming out now. I don't know. I don't talk to any of these people, but it's coming out. They didn't want to ever be in the luxury tax. They're not going to pay that money. They just want to be NBA owners. They don't want to do that. So guess what? Paying Luka the Supermax pretty much hurt you. Luka Doncic just got hurt on this too because now with the trade, he can't sign the Supermax. $345 million deal. You were going to guarantee Luka was here for multiple years past his current contract. You were going to have him through his prime. and get a chance to keep a team around it.
Yeah, I mean, I
That
said,
way.
okay. So my whole deal is this. I have to trust in this front office until it's proven to me that this was the and everybody else. This is it Max Christie? Everybody else says he's a good piece too, and along with the 29 pick. So I'm not sure.
Everybody else did, and Nico said he was a good piece.
Well, they're the ones running the show here.
And you know what? Christie, he may end up being a perennial all-star and all NBA. Have to be to replace this.
Well, I mean, you can like I said a while ago, either you get on or get off, and I'm getting on because I have to I mean I have to give them the benefit of the doubt until the wheels fall off. And
We do not have to give them the benefit of the doubt. You could still be a fan. You could still watch the games and be mad that they gave up the future.
maybe so, but I mean I hate it.
I don't understand. I don't understand how you're this calm over this. If this was something with the Cowboys, if the Cowboys traded their best player, you would be irate. It'd be ridiculous.
The Cowboys need to trade their best player. I don't know, Charlie. I was mad to begin with, and then I mean, I've listened to a lot of stuff today, and as bad as I hate to admit it, I mean, if you because I mean, Luka's only played 22 games this season too. So if you just take health out of it, you just take the player for the player. Offense, the defense for each player side by side. I'm not sure that this was a bad deal. Now, I'm not saying that you didn't get. I'm not saying that we got enough conversation for a top 5 player. I agree with that part, but my part is the if you just go star for star, I'm not sure it's as far apart as you think it is.
Well,
Oh
there's no world where Anthony Davis is as bigger star as Luka.
no, I mean he where Luka's 5, where Luka is 5, he's 15. But he's 15 in a different way, and he's also 15 in a way in a player that we really with him going to the 4 though. If you could just think about and I'm talking about everybody healthy, both of our centers going to 5.
I mean, Lively's done for the year, right? So you don't get to see him and Lively till next.
3 months. I mean, I saw 3 months. I ain't heard Lively's out for the year.
I thought he had a foot issue. They thought he was done for the year.
Well, I haven't heard that officially yet, so I'm not ruling him out. So I mean, Cleveland was hurt, but with Klay Thompson, with Kyrie Irving, and with Anthony Davis, all the 3 being healthy, I think we're just as good. I think we would be just as good as we were last year.
Well, I can tell you right now, PJ Washington's playing better than Klay Thompson, and he's a better defender. So PJ Washington is really the one that may have freed him up to try to make this move. He's going to come play your 3. He's long and he's good defensively.
They put Klay in 2 and move on.
What they may do, but I'm just saying, I don't.
How good are you then? Kyrie, Klay, Washington, Anthony Davis, and one of your centers. I mean, that's a good team.
Here's a problem with that. It is a good team, and we'll do great in the regular season next year. But you know what? When you get in the playoffs, you know what? Win playoff games?
Defense.
Dude.
What?
Stars.
Well, we've got. I consider Anthony Davis.
You line up. Your team doesn't necessarily have to be better because we're going to go out here and my all-star, all-pro is going to sit here and he's going to play almost the whole game and he's going to put it on your butt the entire deal, and you got to find a way to stop that. And my coach better be finding ways to make that work.
I'm sorry, the world I live is as long as they're on the floor, Kyrie, Klay, and Anthony Davis are stars. That's the world I live in. It's
Stars? Stars
Yeah.
levels.
I don't. I mean, I don't think there's a big enough gap there. I think there's a bigger gap in your mind between them three and Luka than there actually is.
If we don't win an NBA title in the next 3 years, this trade was horrible, and Nico needs to be gone.
Okay, maybe so. I'll give you that. I think at least be the representative going for that title. Yes.
He just took you to the finals last year. If
Yeah.
you make a trade to get rid of him and
And,
you can't get back to where he
and,
had you,
did you watch those games? What were the two things we were? What were the two glaring things we were missing in that series against the Celtics?
2 or 3 players,
What?
2 or 3 players on the level that the Celtics had.
Yeah, what I saw us missing, what I saw we could keep up with was we didn't have enough 3-point shooting, which we established Clay, and we didn't play good enough defense. And now with adding the players that we have, I think we could do both of those things now. I think this team, if healthy, could beat the Celtics
From last year, not from the team we played in the finals.
But we're a better matchup with this team right now on paper than we were last year on paper against the Celtics.
Play the game on paper.
Yeah, but you do put it together on paper, and that's what in my opinion, Kid and Nico have done. They have gotten a their best way up for the next 5 years to try to get to, like you said, an NBA title. Now, after 5 years, our future's gone because Luka's gone.
And what are the Lakers going to be sitting out there doing? The Lakers are going from LeBron James to the person you were more than happy to get rid of, and they'll build a roster around him and be good for the next 10 years.
Okay, there is no way you're putting the fact that I'm happy to get rid of him. That is not what I'm saying. I'm upset. I'm mad. I'm hurt. I will miss Luka Doncic. There's not one thing that I've said that has said that I'm happy to get rid of Luka Doncic. That has not come out of my mouth, and you are not going to put that in my mouth. But what has come out of my mouth is I have to trust. I have to trust the leadership at the Mavericks. I have to trust that the players that we have are going to play. I have to trust that what the evaluations of our brain trust at the Mavericks know what they're doing. I have to do all those things in my fandom to make this work in my head.
You don't have to blindly trust it. We question stuff all the time. You can question this.
My eyes are wide open. I'm not blindly trusting nothing. I have come to the realization that this is just the way it's going to be. It ain't going to. The genie can't get put back in the bottle now, Charlie. So let's move on and see what happens.
That's all we can do. But I want to stand right here and gripe more before I go.
Well, I want to say. Did you see how bad you don't even know what the result of the night's game was? They played a game tonight, and they got their ass.
Who played the game?
The Mavericks and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And
for the Mavericks.
Huh?
For the Mavericks.
Not very many people.
No, PJ Washington was out. Kyrie was out.
Luka don't play here no more.
Ain't here no more. The other guys hadn't got here yet. So I heard him. I watched the interview, and at the end of it, Kid was talking about, here, I'm going to give you my list of injuries, and it's like 7 long. And I don't know if he was giving guys the night off to deal with the fact that we just switched up the whole dynamic of the team, and y'all are going to have to figure out how to play again, what they were going to do. But something was going on. They took an L in this game 100%.
Yeah. They were getting beat by. It was 91 to something at halftime. So,
and that's from a team that's been winning even without Luka.
Yeah. Okay. So then the McElroy won at Pebble Beach today. Bull riding was 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 won by a Brazilian that I'm not going to remember the name of right now. Watched bull riding, watched PGA golf. Um, Alabama beat Georgia this week. This weekend, I mean, in the SEC. In college basketball, we're getting thick of college basketball, and we got a lot of stuff to come out with these Mavericks. The Stars made a trade too. They picked up a couple players from the Sharks. I don't know all the particulars yet, but they picked up a couple players from the Sharks, and of course the Cowboys signed their new offensive coordinator, the boy out of the Cardinals. So these are all topics and headlines going on. But the monumental mega deal that's happened last night at between 11 and 12 was Luka Doncic being traded to the Los Angeles Lakers for uh, I just want Anthony Davis. Excuse me.
Yeah, now all that other stuff, we're just going to have to put a pin in that until next week because nothing else in the sports world matters right now. This is it, and it's the only thing that matters. It's
And you're
that's
just
just what it is.
all and you're all pissed off in your cornflakes, and I'm just trying to and I was mad initially, but I listened to a lot of different interviews and talking heads about it, and I just come to the realization that as far as the front office is concerned, at the Mavericks, this was the best thing for the club, and you don't agree with that.
No, I think if you're the general manager of the Dallas Mavericks and you have a generational talent in Luka Doncic, trading him, the only thing you're doing is saying, I'm not good enough to put a team around him that can win. I think it's all it is you're just admitting, hey, I can't do it, guys. Sorry.
Okay, well, I don't agree with that, but I see where you're coming from.
Good job as a GM.
No,
Everybody else, there's other what
job,
7 other teams in the league looking for a Luka Doncic.
your
You could
job,
have got so much in return for him that you could have built your entire team.
your
Whatever
job,
you got, you could have
your,
had whatever team you wanted.
his job as the general manager and the coach. His general manager do exactly what he did. You're just not happy with what he did.
What did he do?
He traded. He traded a good, potentially great player for a good player. Both of them being injured. All due respect.
No, he traded great for good.
I don't know that. I don't know if anything he traded for really great for or he traded really great for great. That'll be the best I go for you. I think Anthony Davis is a lot better than you're giving him credit for.
I'm not saying he's not a good complementary player. He's not a lead dog.
I think we already had the lead dogs on this team. I think we had too many lead dogs. That's why we got rid of one.
Got rid of the younger, more dominant one.
I have to stay. Why do you got to be?
If we had this conversation and it was Kyrie Irving that got traded for Anthony Davis, I would say, you know what? It's pretty even. Great. You know what? He's trying to do what he can to put the best team on the floor. Tell me Luka and Anthony Davis isn't better than Kyrie and Anthony Davis.
I don't know. I just gotta. I mean, I'm not gonna go there because I can't go there because that's hypothetical. We don't have a hypothetical. No, we've got what we've got.
Yeah, we've got what we got. And what we got is a general manager that's not protecting the best interest of the team.
Okay, well, I see where you're coming from. I'm just not in the same camp you are right now.
Well, I mean, it's fine. If they win an NBA title, we can come back to this and go, man, we were all wrong for jumping on it.
We were. I mean, I jumped on them originally, but I got off it because I think. I mean, based off of what I've watched against the Celtics last year, if assuming because a lot goes in, but Luka's not healthy either. So based off of health and everything, I think this could be the right move for the Mavericks for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. That's just my opinion. I think this could be. I mean, I think this could be the way the Mavericks should have went.
Okay, maybe it is. All right, everybody. That's a depressing episode from the bald guy and the fat boy. I wish close this out because I can't even do it.
Well, for the bald guy and the fat boy, we'll see down the road. Roll Tide.